do the cloud recording in progress. Okay, it's another day. It's another episode of the Exponential Files, and I'm Jim Lowenstern, your host. I have Amanda Kerr from Australia, Perth, Australia. She's an EXP agent, and we're going to learn quite a bit. This is going to be a great show. Welcome, Amanda. I'm so happy to have you with us today.
Thank you, James.
You can call me Jim. It's fine.
Okay.
So let's talk about everything. Let's talk about your basically the real estate business in Australia. I know almost everything. I mean, Australia's got animals that don't exist in other parts of
Scary stuff, haven't we?
koala bears eating eucalyptus. You've got kangaroos. You've got people eating kangaroos. What else you got? Wallabies. Those are like little kangaroos. What else do you have?
They tell me the spiders and snakes are something that you guys don't have. We have the infamous Rob Davis, who, now where's he from? Maybe Arizona, but he's down being West Australian's key person, and he's really wonderful. We've adopted him now. He's got a wonderful accent from your way, and he says he got used to all of that stuff. And when he goes back to home over there, they don't even hear they hear his accent as Australian. They say, "No,
Really?
You're an Aussie now."
So everyone wants to know, have you ever had kangaroo meat?
Oh, I have. It's it's gamey, I will say. That's how you would describe it, right?
Well, we have a Netflix show called Somebody Feed Phil, and Phil goes around the world, and I was just watching it last night. It was just so coincidental because I don't always watch that show, and there he is in Sydney and Adelaide. I think Adelaide. I didn't get that far into it, but they were eating. He thought it tasted really, really good.
Okay, well, that's good.
I didn't believe him, but he did sell it as being very tasty.
Yeah, well, when I was growing up, Jim, we used to feed kangaroo meat to our pets. So that kind of sits with me, and it's probably not on the top of my list, but it has become a delicacy for sure. And crocodile meat too, by the way. Have you heard about that?
I've had turtle. I don't think I've ever had crocodile or alligator. I've had turtle in turtle steak. I think it was
Wow.
the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Wow.
they've actually got a nice turtle farm there. So that may be where it came from, most likely.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's talk about Perth for a moment. Australia, for people that just need to grapple with the size of it, what is it, like the fifth largest country in the world, and basically the size of the uh, continental US. I mean, it's huge, and Perth is all the way on the west coast.
That's right, yeah. And we're very spread out. So the beach behind me is something that we'll enjoy all the way up the coast. And look, a lot of people will know that it's a long way between towns after you get out of Perth. We've got about 3 million in Western Australia, and they're very spread out. And even Perth is quite a spread out town compared to Sydney and Melbourne. So, we
Well, you got the
WA.
Great Barrier Reef on the North Shore, I guess or Northeast Shore.
Yeah, east. That's
Do you
right.
have reefs? Is there good diving
Yes.
in Perth?
We have a lot of reefs, but we're open to the Indian Ocean, so not so much water sport. We have a little island called Rottnest, and you may have seen it advertised. Somebody's done something. I guess, for tourists to come here. But it's a little island that we have, which is really nice. And it's just like 3/4 an hour away, you know.
Hey, well, let's
But
talk
on the,
about real estate. We can always come back and talk about Perth.
sure,
You grew up in Perth?
yeah, absolutely. Been here all my life.
Okay.
Yeah, 21 years of real estate. So I've probably seen about 3 cycles of real estate here. But at the moment, we have the hottest, fastest market that I've ever seen.
Really?
Um, oh, yeah.
Tell me why you think that is.
Yeah. So,
People
um,
leaving the US?
yeah, maybe. Um, well,
And but
we have,
seriously, where are the people coming from?
yeah, okay. So the mining industry is really hot here, and it's a high percentage of what runs us in WA. So we're considered to be the richest state. Lithium, gold, mining.
WA is Western Australia,
Yes, excuse me, it
which is
is.
like is it like a state or a territory? How's that
It's a
concerned?
state. Yeah, it's a state. And probably the largest in Australia as well. So I think that people coming to Perth is about our mining industry. And also, we've had politicians having a lot of immigration come too. So we're a little light on housing here. That'd probably be an understatement for some people, both rental and to buy. So when something goes on the market, it's very tempting for an agent just to take the first offer or the owner to take the first offer. And rather than to hold it on the market a bit to give people a chance. But it's the fastest and shortest selling time that I've ever
Why
seen.
would you take I mean, typically, at least I've always believed the first offer is the best.
Hmm.
But I also know I've been doing this for 43, almost 44 years now. That's
Oh,
not always the case.
yeah,
So why just take the first offer when,
absolutely. Mm.
more people, you know, almost like an auction,
Oh, well,
the
it
price
is,
gets
absolutely.
bid up.
Mm,
So,
mm,
okay, how long? Okay, so 20 plus years in the business,
yeah.
and you've worked for how many different companies?
Oh, so I had my own agency for a while and, running the trust account and everything. I had that. I was a property manager for probably 10 to 15 years. And that got a lot. So I sold out of that. And then I came to EXP 3 years ago.
Okay, so
Mm.
approximately the same number of years. I've been maybe about 4 years at this point. I had
Oh, okay.
an LOI. I was bringing my company over. I had 7 offices, and I had like a
Oh,
year basically to assimilate and figure it all out. There was a lot. There was a lot to
mm,
figure out. So,
wow.
real estate in Australia. Commissions are approximately 4% to be split 50-50.
Oh, so this is interesting because you're telling me something now that's very different to the way we work.
Okay,
So
well,
when you
that's
say,
the question. How do you work?
yeah, yeah, exactly. So when you say split 50-50 between the
Well,
buyer's agent,
the
maybe?
listing
Yeah.
agent and the buyer's agent. Yeah.
Yeah, understood. Okay.
And
So
everything has
here,
changed here now. I don't know if it's been publicized at all so that you've known about it, but we've had some lawsuits.
oh, I understand.
Our
Okay.
industry,
Okay.
EXP was included in one or two or 10, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of lawsuits, and the dust is kind of settled. So how do you do real estate in Australia?
Oh, so buyer's agents charge their clients upfront a fee.
Up front, okay,
Yeah.
and is
Mm.
it a percentage or a flat fee?
No, it's usually a flat fee between 10 and 15,000, I understand.
Okay,
Mm.
all right.
Australian. which is, well, it's different. I'll
So
let you
10 or
work it out.
15, what is the Australian dollar is about 60% of the US. Okay,
I
so
believe
10 or
so.
15, so we're talking 6,000 to, I'm doing quick math here, 9,000.
Mm, mm. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
That's good.
regardless of what, so let's say we're selling a $5 million estate on the ocean or something. I'm just throwing out numbers
Yeah.
and locations, but it's still, I'm the buyer's agent. I get 15,000 Australian
Uh,
dollars.
that's a really good question because I don't know about those ones. The buyer's agents that I work with work probably up to about 2 million. I don't ask them about all of them, all of the what they charge and whether they charge a percentage. It's a good question. I do refer to some, but as far as I know, they have
What do you mean by that? By I
refer.
refer to, you refer your clients to other agents?
Yeah, that's right. So it's a
Why is
buyer's
that?
agent, certainly. Well, so the how we work is we're listing agents, and we pretty much stay in our lane on that. And so when a buyer comes to us and says, "Oh, look, I'm really having a lot of trouble um, getting a property in a certain area," it's a very fast market, as I mentioned. So if we're going to go out and help that buyer, we're losing focus on listing and selling property. So instead, what we do is we leave it to the buyer's agent, and then we'll say, "Look, we've got Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Would you be interested in working with them and talking to them about, what you charge, how you work?" So we divide it, I think, is what it is.
So you
But
do
we don't,
mostly listings.
correct. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
let's
don't
talk
get,
about that. How is that compensated
yeah, so
typically?
listings for us, so I'm at about 3%, but then I'm talking about probably up to 1.5 million. And that's where I sit. That's what I usually list. And then a little bit under that as well, depending on where it is. But I work as what I call in my purple circle, and that's people I know, like, and trust, and then they do same for me. So I network a lot. My family and friends come to me and their people and refer them into me to sell their properties. And in between times, I like to get out and enjoy myself and holiday and go to the beach.
And actually have a life.
Oh,
That's awesome.
yes, you are correct. Have a life. Yeah. Yeah. So after all those years, and you've done more than me, but I decided that at this point we had a lovely flexible model called EXP, and that I could do that. I have a license, and pretty much, I go and do my own thing. And when you have the freedom to do that, you usually do more work than you expected.
Well, that's what they say. The worst boss in the world is, is for somebody that's self-employed,
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
because hours are not set, days off are not discussed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to work that
Mm-hmm.
all out on the fly. So how were you introduced to EXP? How
Oh,
large is EXP at this point in Australia? Do you have any idea?
yeah, we're at about just under 250. So, not a great deal when you think about how many are in the States. But we've only been here for, I think it's 6 years this year in Australia. Um, and so relatively new and very, very differently run too. I went to Barcelona for a conference, and one of our ladies in Perth went to Miami. I think you might have heard of Lee Smith. She's award winning. She's done very, very well. Um, I really enjoy the EXPCon, an opportunity to go travel. So it's a long way for us. You know, it's
Right.
usually over 20 hours to travel. So people are always very welcoming and wow, the Aussies are here. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Australia is definitely on my bucket list. I've gotten through a lot of Asia. Um, and speaking of Asia, Korea just became official. Japan, actually,
Yeah.
last week on my podcast, I had the first agent from Japan, Amiko, came on my show. I brought one of my team members who grew up in Japan and is obviously
Oh,
fluent in Japanese to help out. It was kind of interesting.
oh,
So,
wonderful.
yeah, the company's expanding. So, yeah,
Yeah.
250 agents. It doesn't sound like a lot, but as we know, that will probably increase quite a bit.
Mm.
So, I'm just trying to figure not just the culture of EXP in Australia, but the culture of real estate. You have I mean, we call it multiple listing services. Are all the listings online? You
Mm.
probably don't have Zillow. Are you even aware what Zillow is?
No, we do not have
Okay.
Zillow,
Oh,
and I'm not aware.
okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even have it. I have a partner in Canada. They don't have Zillow in Canada, but Zillow
Yeah.
is like the aggregate. I mean, my team is trying to build a Zillow type of listing service where we have data feeds from all over the country of the US
Wow.
anyway. So how when you list your property, what do you
Mhm.
do?
Yeah. So we have a platform called realestate.com.au. And pretty much, look, I think that there are different listings in the world for realestate.com as well. But now I said .au, didn't I? Well, they would have different extensions for where they are in the world. Of course, through EXP, it's a lot easier to find what listings there are, certainly in EXP in the world these
Hmm.
days, because there's sites that we can do that and we can collaborate very easily. Because I found that when I was in Barcelona and I was sitting next to a lady and she said, what are you doing here? I love your accent. And I told her I was there for a real estate conference and she said, could you sell my apartments in the Gothic Quarter? And I said, well, you know what? I could, but I am going to go back to Australia and I'm going to get someone in Barcelona to help. So that was really awesome that I could have that conversation. Um, and then tell my tax accountant, yes, I was going to claim 100% of that flight because I'm working for a global real estate company.
Of course.
So, um, yeah, how is it different? Like there are a couple of platforms. There's one called Domain throughout Australia as well. And basically they're the ones. And then we have real estate. I think they're really there for the real estate agents and their REI. I'm wondering if I really know what that stands for, but there's REA WA, and then all the states have their REA. So, real estate industry, and they look after the people in real estate.
Is the word realtor used ever?
No, no, that is definitely an American word. It is creeping in because EXP's here. We see realtor in some of our Instagram and Facebook advertising. And certainly people know, but they also recognise that it's not Australian.
Okay. So how do you describe yourself? A lot
Real
of
estate
agents,
agent.
real estate agent. Okay.
Yeah. But here's the thing, you know how in different states they have different rules? It happens in the
Absolutely.
US too, I know that.
Of course.
Um, but certainly we do here. But in WA, you can only be a real estate agent if you've a license as well. Otherwise, you're a sales rep. Like,
You
you're
work
not
you work under somebody else's license as a
correct.
sales rep.
Yeah. And
But
they're
you
very
need a
particular.
license to be a sales rep, correct? Or
No, you don't. It's sales registration you begin with. And once you've been in selling real estate for a year, you can then go and get your license. Now, the rest of
after
state,
taking and passing an exam.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes for, it's probably a course of 3 to 4 days in sales registration. And then for your license, it's a couple of month course, which
And at that point, can you run your
not
own
full time.
company if you chose
Yeah,
to?
yeah, you can. But they like you to have obviously had experience in the industry before they're going to give you a license to do that. But obviously in EXP, you're treated differently too on those two levels. You're more a contractor if you have a license, and then you set your own KPIs and do your own thing. Whereas
So is
this,
there one, let's say, managing broker for your entire country? Or
yeah,
is there really? Okay.
yeah, and he's called head of country.
Head of country.
Yeah, that's Chris Jansen we have, and then the head of WA, the licensee for WA, Western Australia, is Rob Davis. And so, yeah, he's probably the only American, I think. Yeah, everyone else is Australian. So,
So
and we
did
love
he
having
come
Rob here.
over because of EXP and
I
Australia was
think
being
he
open?
might have.
Really?
Uh, oh, wait,
So he's like a
no.
carpetbagger. That's what we called.
I think actually he's been in other agencies. I'm just thinking back now. He told
Okay.
me he'd been with other agencies. So probably not just for EXP, but it really worked out well that he came and joined
So
EXP.
if you're in Australia, you don't mind being called Aussies, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you call Americans? Just Americans? You call us Yankees, Yanks, or
I think Yanks were the 70s word for us.
yeah.
But I think now American, yeah, I've said it a few times, haven't I? Come from the US. Yeah.
Okay.
And like we say, WA, I guess. Because that's Washington for you, WA, isn't it?
Uh, yeah, for postal code. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about EXP. You had your own company for how many years?
Oh, yeah. So mine, I probably for about 10, and I did go in and go into a couple of franchises. I don't know if you have Ray White there. I think maybe not.
No, I
Um,
did a little investigative work and I saw some names that I hadn't seen, but I think that was one. So that was
yeah.
like a large, it was a franchise that you bought into?
Um, I didn't. I just went to work for them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought I might just give up the whole trust accounting thing and just go work for someone for a while. I did a couple of different agencies there, and then I went back to my own again. And for just a sole trader, a person doing it on their own, I did have a couple of people working for me at one time. But it is a lot of work because you're just doing everything. And you probably know that too. It sounds like
Yeah, I had
yours is
about
much larger.
70 agents and
Oh, 70. My
yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Hmm.
EXP is totally different than, I mean, decades in the business, and I'd worked as a franchisor for my own Castles Unlimited company, franchisee with a unnamed company, independent a lot. I've done just about everything at this point. In EXP, well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what's your assessment of EXP? This isn't about me.
Well, there's a whole lot of freedom with EXP, certainly in Australia. The model is quite different to anything else we've had, and especially the rev share. Nobody else is really doing that. And also, the shares, buying shares in the company, 5% of your sale going into shares. Really,
That's optional. Let's
it
be
is.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I say, why wouldn't I? A good place to put it, really. What else about? So that the way I got introduced was from someone I first met in real estate, and he was an auctioneer, and we'd known each other over the years, and we kind of went our separate ways in real estate. But he rang me up one day and said, "Look, what are you doing? I'm with this company, this really different company. It's really hard for me to explain, but would you have a webinar with my boss?" Which was Rob. And when we did that, I said to him, "Oh, that's too good to be true. I
Well, what
don't."
part of it is too good to be true? That I never quite understand. It
Okay,
sounds like a lot,
all right.
but
So the good, the part that's too good to be true is that once we earn 100K in commission, we get 100% of our commission. That
okay.
bit was too hard, too good to be true. And everyone is on 75% at the beginning of their calendar year. Everyone, doesn't matter who you are, what kind of production you have, right? Whereas it didn't always work like that where I was, when I first started out, there were tiers depending on your volume,
Right, right.
but not with EXP. It's just flat across the line. And then when you get to your 100K, then the rest of your calendar year is 100%. Yes, there's an admin fee, but pretty much that's it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
nobody was doing that here.
Well,
So that was a game changer.
having scaled a small company that was growing into other states, I went to EXP just to simplify my scaling. That's why I did it. But
Yeah.
everyone has a different reason. So your reason was you thought it was too good to be true, and it's lived up to all the hype, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it has, and especially the opportunity to travel as well. Like there were so many things. Um, I'm not a high volume agent, but at any moment that could change. I'm actually getting into commercial now, and you go where you want to go, and you're encouraged. And there's so much collaborating too. There's great agents that have done a lot of commercial sales that I can talk with. There's a lot of skills that we share. The training is amazing. The software, all of the online stuff that we can do. It's
Has EXP Luxury
Yeah.
gotten to you? Okay. So it's and sports and entertainment, is that land and
No.
ranch?
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
not yet.
No. But certainly luxury. And I know that a couple of people I know that are in it, and they talk about the tools and how great it is to use and everything. And I've seen some really good examples of it. So a very sharing organisation, and knowledge. Everybody helps everybody. We just changed our CRM. I guess you name them the same.
Hmm.
And that's a big ordeal. And it's been quite a process. And,
And
it's
that's included. You pay a small monthly fee,
Oh,
and
a desk fee, of course. Yeah, I
that's
missed that bit.
included.
Sorry, Jim, I missed that. Yeah, so we pay 275 Australian a month, and that again is also a very small fee for everything included.
Okay. It sounds
So I
like
went, I went traveling
it's
for.
definitely more than what we pay in the US.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
I have to talk to Glenn
But
about that.
but you may be getting more.
We could be.
And because of the scale in the US versus the number of
Uh-huh.
agents in
That's what I think it might be.
Australia, it might be. And it also might be that the technology that you're getting included in that fee costs more. It
Yeah.
may be more competitive in the US because at this point we have a choice of three CRMs.
Oh, really?
That just started in the last 6 months or so. So we
Cool.
have Bold Trail that used to be KV Core. That's a choice. Close, CLOZE, and what's the other one? I don't know.
One more.
It's escaping me right now.
Wow, a
But
trust accountant's nightmare.
yeah, I think they just want to give agents more choices, and of course now with co-sponsoring. So rev share, of course, you have a sponsor, and it's multi-level kind
Mm,
of
mm.
rev share. And co-sponsoring, I guess I never asked before, but you're able to do co-sponsoring too, right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I heard about that at Barcelona in June. And yeah, definitely. It's a global thing. Yeah, there are some differences, obviously, just the culturally, the way we did real estate. So when EXP came here, it adapted. The model is, I suppose, a lot of similarities, but adapted to what the way we did real estate in Australia. Mm.
Are you building your downline?
I am not currently, no, but it's always out there in sight to be doing. Um, it's they're a little bit stayed in their ways here, and they're feeling a little bit too good to be true, I think. But we persist, we keep going. There are people that are in the eastern states doing that have been in longer than me. I think maybe it takes a little bit of time to get
Well,
traction.
let's talk about the culture. We'll brainstorm here for a few minutes
Yeah.
towards the end of the show. Um, how many agents are there in Perth in just round numbers? We're talking tens of thousands.
Oh, okay. I generally look in my own backyard and not not much further. Um, yeah, there's a lot of
Okay,
agents in here
in
for sure.
your own backyard, like
Yeah,
hundreds,
yeah,
and
definitely.
they typically go to offices that have physical locations and have desks.
Typically, yeah. Yeah, I did actually visit one today, a very large agency. And the only thing there were the sales reps' desks that were empty. The property management, um, was all sitting on a chair. But sales reps, I don't know about how you work there, but a lot of them, they don't sit at a desk if they're offered one anyway. They're always out and about and generally working from home.
And are they
Um,
on typically like a 50-50, 60-40 split?
I would say 60-40 from what I understand. There is a one called the agency, which is the most like EXP. And their comms would their splits would probably be closer to ours. Um,
Is that the agency franchise from the US?
mm, I think it might be. Yeah, I'm not really
Is
100%
there
about
a
that.
logo? Is there a logo red color?
No, it's black actually with white on. So the
Oh,
white writing comes
okay.
out of it.
Might be different. It's kind of
Yeah.
I think there's even a team at EXP that was using the agency. They were in
Oh,
California. Um, yeah. So that
yeah.
all grew out of, well, I shouldn't say it grew out of it, but the owner of that company that started the franchise was on, well, his wife was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I've definitely Seen that advertised. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, are there any reality TV shows about real estate in Australia, specific to
we
Australia?
we get we get American ones.
Oh, just American ones. Okay.
Yeah, we have a few coming in now of Australian ones, but yeah, there's a lot of American real estate ones. Um, they're very different because you talk about broker, don't you? And we're talking about real estate agent, and we mean listing agent. Yeah,
Okay.
so we have different terminologies.
So, is it okay for you to do, let's say you have a listing and a buyer comes, are you allowed to do business with the buyer and sell them the house?
Oh,
Or,
directly.
yeah.
Always. That's how we work. Yeah. Oh, I missed that bit out. Yeah, you're quite right. That's exactly. So I'm interested in you said, are you allowed? Because that's not allowed there, is it?
It, it, it is allowed. Somehow everything is allowed if you have the right paperwork. And that was really, for me, one of the deciding factors to go to EXP, because just to keep up with every law and, on top of it, paying the risk management or errors and emissions insurance that kept going up and everything, and then hearing about lawsuits, having, seen lawsuits in all my decades. I just wanted to simplify things just a little bit for myself. So
Yeah.
EXP sort of helped that. But yes, we can double end a sale. We just have to have.
Okay. See, double ending, that's not, we've always dealt direct with the buyer, always. But because there's either a scarcity of property, or let's say someone's flying out to work in another country, another up north, offshore, they don't have the time to look around for a property, so they get a buyer's agent. They do the looking, they get them in position, ready to buy, they write the offer for them, pretty much everything, and sometimes they even just show them a video of the property and they never actually get to see it. So yeah, we would do that directly too if given the opportunity. In a slower market, gosh, all of that, because you have the time to help the buyer. But now we have, a home open would have a queue of buyers, and you're racing to put it into your pocket home open, you know. And
Is that what you call
yeah,
it? A home open? Because we
yeah,
call it
we
an open
do.
house.
You
So
do.
it's reversal. That's interesting. So when you're
Yes,
down under, everything is reversed.
it
And I
seems
and I
like it.
have to thank you for doing this at this hour. I
Mm.
mean, for me, it's relatively early. It's like 9:30 a.m. For you,
Yep.
it's what, 10:30 p.m.?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Thank
I've
you.
spent some time in Asia, and it's I'll be working at like 3 o'clock in the morning because
Yeah.
I'll have a deal, and basically I don't get any sleep. But
Mm.
you know
It
that's
happens sometimes.
that's because the real business is back home. It's not in Vietnam, for example, or wherever I was on that particular vacation.
Correct.
Even
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
even Hawaii kind of messes that all up also.
Yeah, that's it. And our time zone, yeah. Yeah, well, we've worked it out, haven't we? That's good.
Well, that's the beauty of EXP. I mean, it's a global network, but also the way we communicate within the network and, make business connections and promote
Mhm.
whatever we're doing. I mean, I promoted my Castle's Luxury and the magazine and everything with you probably already. I can't even remember at this point, but
Yeah, your VA contacted me.
yes. Okay. Well, yes. Of course. I've got to spend some time actually focused on selling real estate too. And that's another misconception. You know, agents that look at EXP and go, "Oh, it's too good to be true." They're just looking to recruit and make money off of recruiting, and no one sells real estate. Well, from my own personal point of view, we've got something called Real Trends, which tracks every agent, every team, every country, every company in the US, for example. I was never in Real Trends, no matter how large my company got. And now my team is hitting Real Trends and actually quite high up in Real Trends. And I would say it's really a lot of it has to do with EXP. It was the
Mm.
networking that I was able to do through EXP that boosted my team's numbers to where they're actually hitting the radar.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great story. So, how many
So,
in your
yeah.
team, Jim?
Okay, well, that's the other thing. So when I ran my own company, it was my own company, period. And there would be agents that would have teams at my company. Now I have, because I have two or three trademarks and the magazine, um, there's an organization, Castle's Luxury. So that's about 2,000 EXP agents worldwide. Castle's Unlimited team is international, but the production numbers are just from the US. And roughly 100 agents right now feeding
Wow.
the production. And then there's more agents internationally. So agents that aren't part of a team in another country, I just bring them on the team and they can network and
Yeah.
share their knowledge and share our knowledge and their listings and our listings and all the
Yeah.
marketing. So we'll probably hit about 200 million this year, rough
Wow.
numbers. And that team basically went from a localized team to more of a national and international team because of the EXP luxury program. Because in the US, if you have a standard EXP team, you can offer a huge discount to EXP Luxury. So I formed
Fantastic.
a different kind of team, mainly to get that advantage from my agents. I still have to pay the full amount. The team leader pays the full amount. And then, so you're with EXP Luxury, Amanda?
I'm not currently.
Oh, okay.
No,
All right.
no. I,
Do you know what
yeah.
it costs in Australian dollars?
Oh, so what they've done is mm, they're changing it too, Jim. So what my understanding is they put it over the listings that you get each year. So once you list and sell something, then they charge a portion of it, and it goes out over the year. Um, that's my understanding, but
Okay.
it
So
was
it
changing.
sounds like it's something new and they're trying to figure out the system for Australia because I'm sure,
Correct.
but one of the tools, and I always mess it up. It's either VT Lux or Lux VT. It's a system where a listing, like what I can do, we have multiple listing service that's just realtors looking at the data. We can take the MLS number for a listing, put it into the system, and then it'll create YouTube videos and ads for
Mm.
Mansions Global and luxuryrealestate.com and the Wall Street Journal, and also translated into 50 or 60 plus languages. So it's pretty amazing value for marketing of a listing. I think that's why most agents do
Yes.
it.
Yeah, that's what I'm told by. There's a guy in Queensland that was telling me something very similar, and he sent me a listing he'd put up to show me how it looked. He'd used one photograph off our data system and enhanced it in AI. And it came up with the best looking brochure. And he actually won a listing for, I think it was close to 10 million.
Yeah,
You
that's the
know?
other thing. It does create very quickly a digital listing uh, presentation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was very proud, quite rightly so, of that one. So yeah, it's quite different here. It's really interesting to hear about how it works there. I've visited several times, but not Seattle and Lopez Island is where I have some friends. Um, so I've been over and enjoyed it there, but haven't really looked into real estate. Just took some time off, and yeah.
Well, we covered quite a bit. Any questions or question that I didn't ask?
Oh, I think you've probably covered everything. I'd like to say we're worth a visit if you if it's on the bucket
Well,
list because the
that's a
beaches
good
do look
point.
like that.
Because Australia, and I'm going to go back to Somebody Feed Phil, this Netflix show. He
Yeah.
literally started the show by saying, "This is the third time I'm visiting Australia," and uh, he was going to areas that he had never been before. But it is a huge country. A lot of people visit, I guess, Sydney. Uh, have you ever gone to Ayers Rock?
Yes, I've been there. And a place called Exmouth, which is northwest Australia. And it's amazing. It's got just the bluest of blue water and beautiful marine life. It's incredible. And always, even having lived here my whole life, I go to a place and I go, I really can't believe I'm still in my country, the differences between the places, like Ayers Rock, so
Well, I
different.
have to visit Ayers Rock.
Yeah.
I've been to Enchanted Rock in Texas near Fredericksburg, and I've been to I think it's called Virgin Gorda, which is off of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. So there's three, and this isn't a Wikipedia definition of a bath, but a bath is some geological formation, and there's only three in the world.
Oh,
I believe Ayers Rock is the biggest. Enchanted Rock. I mean, it was cool. I went there at the end of the day. Great views. It was probably only 300 or 400 feet, but straight up pretty much. And when I got down, there were deer uh, hanging out, and it was really cool. And uh, Virgin Gorda, I think it was called. That was like a snorkeling trip and stuff like that. But Ayers Rock is quite a it's a beast, right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's there's so much to do here, and I guess it'd be just choosing something. I still there are places I haven't been to,
Have you been to
and
Melbourne?
I have. Yes. Yep. That's the restaurant capital, I would say.
Really?
They're the dining out. I've been more to Melbourne than I have to Sydney, and recently to Queensland, which reminds me more of our beaches and our lifestyle. Um, and that was really probably the
So
first
you have
time I
like
went.
fine white sand beaches,
Yeah,
right?
we do.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, they really are.
Well, Amanda, I could talk to you all day. So I really want to thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast. And for everyone that's out there who watched this show, please subscribe and follow the Exponential Files. And I want to thank Amanda Kerr with eXp Realty in Perth, Australia, for joining us. You were a wonderful guest, Amanda. And if you're ever in Boston, you have to look me up. And
Yes.
we'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jim
Thank you, Jim.
Lowenstern. Bye.
Bye.